Thanks to Freedom Mobile's affordable Canada, US, Mexico.
Don't know. I am literally live at the Diddy trial. I just left the courtroom. There was such a tense showdown. I had to run out and tell you guys. Y'all, what am I talking about? Diddy and the prosecution just went off. They went in on each other. And baby, it was bad. Y'all, let's get into this, okay? First of all, what is going on? There was supposed to be Cassie coming back on the stand to testify. However, the judge got pissed off because he was like, wait a second, because Maureen Comey was on the ones and twos. I will say they need to have her do all of the questioning. The blonde girl is questioning Cassie again. I said yesterday, I felt like her line of questioning left a lot to be desired from a layman's standpoint. A lot of legal experts said that it was a very, very strong it was a very strong witness testimony on Cassie's part, and they thought that technically, legally, the blonde prosecutor did a good job. Hold on, I'm getting to my point, right? But however, you're not speaking to other legal experts. You're speaking to jurors. Jurors are laymen. So what might fly in the court, right? So what might fly in a court of law for legal professionals? Other people are like, layman people are like, yeah, I don't know about that. Anyway, you guys, right? There's the courtroom. Everybody say hi. Anyway, you guys, there was a tense showdown between prosecution and defense. Diddy's defense is playing dirty. They tried to slip something in last minute that was so shocking. Even people in the court were like, oh my God. The judge was getting a little annoyed because the jury was waiting out in the hall and Cassie was going to start to wait out in the hall. However, Tenny Garrett goes and then Mark Agnifilo, stood up and started arguing. You guys, it was a showdown. But get this, the judge literally was like, well, I don't know. What are we talking about? It is evidence. Now listen, they were on a deadline from April 27th. They had to mark all exhibits. Exhibits are things that are going to be entered into evidence. Now there is a difference between if you show a witness something on the stand to impeach them if they're lying, or if you show them something to refresh the memory. That doesn't need to be admitted into evidence. Only things that need to be entered into evidence are what the jury sees. What the jury sees is when they go and make their decision, jurors just can't go in that room and be like, yeah, I think they're innocent. I think they're guilty. They have to sort through all the evidence that's given, and they have to tell you one by one why they decided, and they have to move to each piece of evidence to be like, when they said A, that's what makes me think they're innocent. When they said B, they just can't come in and say, yeah, guilty, innocent. They have to show their work. That is why what is admitted into evidence is so very, very important, because if it's not admitted in evidence, the jurors can't use that to actually say that this is the reason they came to their legal conclusion. They can't use it to show their work. Also, when things are admitted into evidence, the prosecution or defense need time to actually say, hey, listen, you could be like, objection, it's hearsay. There are federal rules of procedure. There's also federal rules on what can and cannot be entered into evidence, okay? You want to have proper notice. You want to give proper notice, which is why what the defense was doing was so dirty. And I'm surprised Judge Aaron actually went along with it, because to me, it is, hold on, there's like raindrops falling on my head. There is a legal precedence for that, and I'm surprised that Judge Aaron even went off on doing that and let that happen. So what ended up happening, right? On April 27th, there was a deadline that any exhibits, and exhibits are entered into evidence to give the jury, any of the exhibits would have to, I'm trying to get a good angle, but this rain is hating on me. We are at the live, I snuck out of court to give you guys the tea, I couldn't wait. So defense is saying, defense only gave prosecution 4 exhibits. The 4 exhibits are what the defense plans to use to the jury to prove their case. Now, again, 4 is an incredibly small number. So because the defense yesterday did a last minute, oh my God, we don't want Alex Fine in the courtroom. And I think it was just Diddy showing his manipulation and control. Sorry, y'all, my makeup is whatever. Today, Maureen Comey, who is so good, stood up and was like, Your Honor, the defense has only given us 4 exhibits. Okay, we keep asking, where's the exhibits or the evidence you're going to use? The defense just keeps saying, oh my God, you know what? We'll give it to you while there is a cross-examination. One, that is a dirty, dirty game. How are you literally going to give evidence that we need to actually review to see if it's good, to see if it passes the federal rules of procedure, to see if there's anything technical that can stop it from being admitted? You're going to give it to us while our client is being cross-examined? So basically, it's legal sabotage. Maureen Comey stood up and said, you guys, we are not, that's the prosecutor, she said, we are not having a trial by ambush, okay? You can win a trial by ambush because once something is admitted in evidence, you can't come back and say, oh, no, take it out. You literally only get one chance. Natalie Lee, thank you for joining the Tattletales. Anyway, Maureen Comey stood up and said, absolutely not, and it got so tense. Hold on, let me try to open my umbrella and read all my notes. Thank y'all so much for coming out and supporting. Okay, right? Oh, I also have some notes on who was actually there. I saw Diddy's PR person. She's a woman, long dark hair, very curvy, very beautiful. She was wearing a black and brown curvy dress. Diddy's PR girl, she was there. How do I know? Because I was eavesdropping while she was explaining to the guards that she should be with the family because, you know, she works for the family and all this other stuff. Why is that important? Because Monday, and this is why it's so important for me to be on the ground, Monday she was in the cafeteria and she was having lunch with the producers of TMZ, the Breakfast Club, and the Shade Room producers. Again, Diddy's PR person, and I'm sure they were just talking, was having lunch Monday in the cafeteria. She doesn't know anybody knows this is PR. I just found out by eavesdropping. She was having lunch in the cafeteria with TMZ's producers, Breakfast Club producers, and Shade Room producers. Why is that important? I don't know. Watch for their coverage. You know this is like what? Now that Cassie's on trial, they're releasing a dumb video of Cassie at Diddy's 58th or 48th birthday, and they're supposed to be looking loved up. Again, I told y'all TMZ was 100% on Diddy's side, and I think we now have proof. But let me get back into this, right? Anyway, they put Diddy's PR person with the family after her explaining to the guards how she should have space because there was limited room in the courtroom.
A new coach and a game to get to, and rear cross traffic braking and peace of mind. The all-new 2025 Equinox and Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Yo, bro, got a huge flood planned for later. Total flood party.
Sick. I already called ATCO Energy about you both.
Bro.
And experts on their way over.
Snitch. Yeah, snitch.
Also, Diddy came in wearing a butter yellow sweater, the color of the season, and a white shirt. There was a juror that submitted a letter saying on June 20th, she has something and she cannot be there. They're thinking that they're still going to keep her on the jury and they'll work around it, but it's unclear. Defense or prosecution might object, and if they do, she'll be out of there and they will put an alternate in. All right? So here's the whole thing. Oh, Janice Combs came in. She had on a bad platinum bomb pixie cut. She's actually a really small woman. She looked good. There were a lot of men coming in on Diddy's side today, a lot of guys. Oddly enough, I didn't see the twins, Jesse and Delilah, and also Chance. I have not seen them. Maybe they're coming in later. I also didn't see Misa Hilton Brim. I didn't see Daphne. Actually, I didn't see any of the women on Diddy's side. I guess they heard the coverage and they saw it was a bad look, that they were sitting there looking stone-faced while their father was being accused of the most horrible things, almost as if it wasn't a surprise, all right? Oh, y'all want to fit check? I'm in my legal eagle. Oh, sorry. Y'all can't see. Anyway, I'm wearing a legal eagle dress. Okay, so anyway, so here's the thing. The prosecution was mad because they were saying that the defense did not produce exhibits that is evidence. Again, she got up and she was mad. She was like, yo, we're not doing. She basically said that they're playing dirty. They're trying to have a trial by ambush, right? They said that if you have these evidence you're going to use, you need to use it now, not in the middle of a witness cross-examination. Why is that important? Because when you are on the ones and twos, you need all eyes, right? You need all eyes on your witness, on a cross-examination, especially when Cassie's being cross-examination, and they're going to tear her apart. Oh, it's Megan like Reagan. It's Megan like Reagan. Megan like Reagan said, this is the content I want. Who's looking at who? Yes, exactly. So, anyway, when your witness is being cross-examined, okay, they are under hostile fire. You are supposed to be taking notes, paying attention to, you're literally making your legal playlist on demand. You need all eyes on them. For you to give new evidence that I have to see whether it's real, I have to see whether it's admissible, I have to check and make sure it's valid, that is a legal dirty trick. It's one that I think the judge should have actually just shut down and said, absolutely not. Like, and here's the thing, the prosecution was like, listen, if you have this mess, at least give it to us by the morning of. Do you know that Tini Garrigo stood up and was like, Your Honor, we're like they're elves in a shoe. Your Honor, we're working round the clock. Even last night we were up late. And even last night we were up late and we don't know what we're going to use. So as we find out, we'll let them know. And unfortunately, it actually might be on cross-examination. And I was like, wow, the nerve and the balls of these people to do this. I was waiting for the judge to shut it down. They did not. So Maureen Comey wasn't done. She stood up and was like, Your Honor, no. You know what you're using. At the very least, we are within our rights to say, can you at least give it to us by, by lunchtime, right? Because you might have her for cross-examination by lunchtime. It is coming down over here. Can you, I'm just telling you real quick, and then I'm going to go back upstairs and take some more notes. She's like, you got to at least give it to us by lunchtime. Then the judge was like, yeah, that, and then, so then Mark Agnefield gets up and he's like, sorry. They were like, what is it? They said their text message changed. And again, there was a standoff. Mark Agnefield turned up and was like, listen, we're not the same. The government has the burden of proof. We don't. And this is the evidence they gave us. And also Rule 16, that's what they were arguing, doesn't say we have to give it to you in a certain time frame. So you'll get it when you get it. It was tense, right? Remember how everybody was like, oh my God, the prosecutors and defense get along so well. Baby, this isn't WWE. This isn't like celebrity cage match. Of course they're going to be cordial in the jury selection because you want all the juries to think that you're nice and sunshine. But when it comes down to court, baby, this is big business. And Maureen Comey was going to war. It was big business and Maureen Comey was going for war. She did not let it go. So Mark Agnefield deal got spicy, like, excuse me, Rule 16. And also, he was like, I don't see any precedent in the Second Circuit saying we have to give it to you with any amount of time. The Second Circuit is where the Southern District of New York is. If you don't know anything about court precedents, all court rulings have some type of weight, right? Because judges all like to follow behind each other, right? Sometimes there is a new precedent, but most of the time the new precedent comes from the Supreme Court, right? So judges have to follow behind each other. Oh, Venus Lightning, thank you so much for the super chat, you guys. I'm out here working. Thank you so much for the super ones that, oh, Peace said, thank you for your thorough coverage. You're welcome, Peace. Thank you. He was like, we're the ones, the government has the thing to prove, not us, so we shouldn't have to prove, right? Okay. Sorry, I need a rating. Okay, there we go, my screen. She's like, the government's the one that has the burden. Anyway, whatchamacallit? The girl was like, y'all, so Maureen told me, the prosecutor was like, this is gamemanship. If they want to admit it within a reasonable amount of time, they should not be able to go. The judge then looked at the prosecutor and was like, why is this an issue? And she said, literally, Maureen Comey in a nice way was like, because it is obvious this is an ambush. Again, super chat. Listen, also, who asked it? Somebody asked a question about how was Diddy looking. Diddy came in looking smug. He came in looking smug. He thought he had a good day yesterday. Thank you so much for the super chat. You said we love you, Tisa. He thought he had a good day yesterday. He came in looking smug, but Maureen Comey came in. Aliyah Morton said, it sounds to me like your hand is covering. No, you guys, it's not the hand, it is the rain. But in any case, I'm trying my best to get close to you guys. It is the rain. It keeps coming down. Let me get back in the courtroom because it is coming down right now. The phone's getting rained on. The sound is muffled. I get it.
So here we have it. Cassie is live in court testifying about how P. Diddy blew up Kid Cudi's car because he was jealous of the fact that Cassie and Kid Cudi were dating. So there we have it. Live in court. She is saying that's what happened. Crazy.
Can't remember your last duct cleaning? It might be time. Struggle with allergies? Cleaning out dust and allergens can help. Dirty ducts force your HVAC system to work harder.
Cassie is currently on the witness stand testifying about some horrific things that you can't show on stream.
has another dinner with him or an outing with him, and it ends up being
It's 2018. She went to have a closure conversation with him, she says. And then he did you know what on the floor to her. But she even met up with him again after August 2018 at some point. But she had some overlap. So there was some infidelity. And I'm hoping Alex Fine already knew about this and he's not finding it out. I doubt it. I'm sure she's been very upfront with him because it's all coming out. Okay, we have an update from New York Post 8 minutes ago. Kyle Schnitzer and Priscilla DeGregory. Diddy allegedly are Cassie after the breakup. I just remember crying, saying no, it was very fast. His eyes went black. He didn't even notice that she was crying. Then he got up and left. At the time, she had already started dating her current husband, Alex, with whom she shares 2 children and now is expecting a 3rd. She said she had relations with him one more time. Okay, now New York Post is saying it was not her choice, but it does appear like she was saying it was by choice. But that's a conflicting testimony coming from New York Post. Let's see if there's updates. I'm sure there's lots of updates from Inner City Press. Okay, the last text that we read together on the Inner City Press thread is Diddy said, "What did you message Diddy about after that?" She said, "Just checking in." "What did he send you?" "That he had iPads full of images and to get him his money." "Money back for what?" Cassie said, "For having paid my now husband to be my trainer." "What did you write back?" You want me to tell the truth? It's much deeper than iPads. There was abuse, more than freak-offs." Good. I'm glad she finally stood her ground in 2019 against him. If true. Cassie said, "There was a time I couldn't take the pain. Tried to walk out in traffic. My husband wouldn't let me. I had trauma therapy." Now we're going to start talking about the book. Breaking. We're getting into the book. "Did you write?" She said, "Yep. A book. With chapters. My mom helped." She said, "What did you want with the book?" Cassie said that Diddy would read it. "What pain did he put you through?" Cassie said, "Shame. To carry the things that were shameful for him. I took on a lot of responsibility for that I never should have. He brought the concept to me when I was 22. It was expected of me. I felt terrible." "How did you get the chapters to Diddy?" "Through my attorney, and I reached out to KK. Douglas Wigdor is the attorney. I reached out also to Christina Karam. I asked her if he read it. She said it was not taken seriously." "How much did you ask for the book?" $30 million, Cassie said. "Did you sue?" She said, "Yep. November 2023. "What happened with the lawsuit?" She said it was settled for $20 million in 24 hours. "Why are you testifying at this trial, Cassie?" This is sad, y'all. But it feels like a relief. Like, just get it all out, girl. You know? Golly. I can't carry this anymore. What's wrong is wrong. I treated people like they were disposable. Escorts, anybody. So the thing she was saying she really wanted from that book was just to have Diddy have to read it. And now Diddy has to a lot more than read it. It does make you wonder, had he just gone ahead and read Cassie's book, paid her off that $30 million. Would any of this have happened? Would Lil Rod have filed his lawsuit? You know? How many freak offs did you have with Diddy? Impossible to know, Cassie said. Hundreds. After you broke up with Diddy, did you ever do a freak off? Cassie said, no. No further questions, Your Honor. I'm a cry, really. I mean, some about that last little boom, 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 boom all together. I got chills on my head. Oh, I'm going to refrain from saying I believe her. 1 minute ago, Inner City Press tweeted again. Can we have a sidebar? The prosecutors asked, can they have a sidebar before the cross-examination? Judge said, yeah. So then they go over that.
Yeah, honestly, bravo to Cassie. How brave.
I think it was really good. I think it was good, Miss Space X. I started out real neutral. Right now I'm leaning hardcore, hard toward Cassie's side, believing her. I think they're doing a pretty good job laying it out so far, in my opinion. I do. But I'm going to keep my mind open. We haven't even heard the other half of the story, other side of the story. Plus, they're going to be going back, forth. Plus, there's more witnesses. So we gotta keep open mind. I'm going to keep open mind. Y'all can do what y'all want. Somebody had, that's funny. I was just checking some of my text messages. Okay. 5 minutes ago, Cassie says Diddy R her in 2018. This is from Adam Rice and Dion Jones at NBC News. Cassie testified that Diddy R her in 2018 after she said they were supposed to have a closure conversation. She said the two went out for dinner, restaurant Malibu. He was playful, nice. At that time, she was already in a relationship with Alex, eventually took back to the apartment. I went inside. He came in and bleep me on the living room floor. I remember crying and saying no. It was fast. His eyes were black. He wasn't himself. It was like somebody taking something from you, she said after that incident. The two were intimate voluntarily one more time. Woo! So now we're waiting for cross-examination to start. I'm nervous. It's 4:17, so they'll get a good 40 minutes. And Diddy's team will have a good 40 minutes. Like this stream or your court sketch artist will somehow only sketch your bad angles. There you go, B. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Welcome, Dr. Nikki, NPW Proctor, Walden, PhD, Slay. What a title. I know you were in some school, girl. Welcome to memberships. Thank you for the 5. Yes, I'm telling you, y'all gonna find out it's poo-poo parties. That's what y'all gonna find out is poo-poo parties. I'm telling you. That's my prediction. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Thank you. Thank you, Aaron, for the $3.99 super sticker. Thank you, Dom's mom, for this $4.99. Thank you for your real-time coverage on this case. Been following you for a while. Love your legal takes, laced with class and a little sass. Keep it up, sis. Thank you for that $4.99. Thank you for the £5 in order of importance. Thank you so much in order of importance for the £5. Thank you, Jess Lee. I used to work for Lou Taylor and TriStar. Girl, come on live at some point. If Lou Taylor gets brought up, we bringing you live on here. Jess, thank you. I used to work for Lou. She said I had to go to therapy after I left the job. You need to contact the FBI. You need to contact the Department of Homeland Security and tell them you are a witness. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Fiona, for the $9.99 super chat. Great coverage. Much appreciated from a Texas lawyer who is a fan. So wish this was televised. I know. Shout out to Texas. I love Texas. It's like one of my little border states, right where I grew up in Louisiana. Could get to Texas in a few hours. Thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. Thank you, B. Another $4.99 super chat from B. Diddy, love means marking territory like a raccoon. I was about to say like a dog. let's be villains as foreplay. My kids shouldn't be here. Whew, thank you for the other $4.99. B. Love BJ's mom showing support. No. That's my mama's real hair. Thank you for the $4.99. No, my mom has a lot of hair. She has no problem growing hair. I'll tell you that. Thank you. I know maybe that's why you thought it was a wig, because she got so much hair. Adam Freeman, thank you for the $5 super chat. You remember how they had Britney Eschewel history and interviewed men for her to date? Yes, I do. And I'm just saying, is it just me? Or does Sam Asghari look like he could be brothers with the crown prince of, Okay. I'm just wondering. Every time I see that man, I'm like, is that the same man that was LARPing as Britney's boyfriend and husband for a few years? Like, why does he look just freaking like him? Like, it looks like the same person. I just know it can't be. So it's like, maybe that's his brother. Maybe that's his cousin. Maybe they just came from the same I don't know. Factory, family, assembly line. Somebody tell me. This is a great thing to bring back up though, Adam. Yes, I do remember how they had Britney's sexual history and interviewed men for her to date. It all sounds too close. Yep. I hope the FBI don't stop with Diddy myself. I hope they keep going. Shout out to my mama for giving 5. If y'all got the 5 of the one of the 5 super chats from my mama, y'all got extra luck. Girl, I operate a cleaning company in St. Petersburg, and I listen to you daily while I clean and do site visits. Yes, slay, El Cody. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Thank you, Malia, for the $19.99. Long-time watcher, first-time chatter. You are the GOAT. This is all I'm doing these days with my time off. Thank you, Malia. Thank you for the $19.99 super chat. Okay, let's see if the cross-examination has started, y'all. I would be lying if I didn't say I was a little bit stalling. I'm a little bit. Cassie might be like, "Oh, can we take another break real quick?" The judge wants to put it off till tomorrow. Yep. She's not getting cross-examined today. They're putting it off. With the jury out of the room, the judge says, "Why don't we just put the cross-examination off until tomorrow?" Okay, the the prosecutor's like, "No, we don't want to do cross-examination tomorrow. We want you to start cross-examining Cassie today." But it's 4:23 right now. So court ends at 5. The judge said, "Why don't we put the cross-examination off till tomorrow so Diddy's lawyers can start questioning Cassie tomorrow?" The prosecutor said, no. We want to start now to make sure we finish. The judge looks over to Diddy's side and goes, "What do y'all think? Miss Estevallo? Maybe she's going to be the one that's going to cross-examine Cassie." Estevallo said, "Cassie's going to be finished by the end of the week. So Cassie will be finished by the end of the week." The judge said, "So no cross-examination today?" The judge said, "Okay, yeah, we'll just make up the time in other ways. Get the jury." The prosecutor said, "So the witness can be excused. That's Cassie. She can be excused." Judge said, "Yeah, get her out of here." Y'all, isn't her due date tomorrow? Somebody said that her due date was May 15th. Maybe that was made up. 4 updates from CNN. Let's see what they talking about over there. Oh, she broke down in tears. That's what happened. She broke down in tears. I think that's why the judge is like, "Can we just call it a day?" Cassie broke down in tears as she described the trauma. She broke down in tears as she talked about going to rehab and doing trauma therapy February 2023. She said she was having flashbacks. This is CNN. During a music video shoot with another artist. She also said she was self-deletion idol. You can read the word. Quote, "I didn't want to be alive anymore at that point," she said. I couldn't take the pain that I was in anymore, and I just tried to walk out the front door into traffic, and my husband would not let me." The jury was dismissed after that for a short break. Her direct testimony was over. The prosecution and the defense were at sidebar. Cross-examination was expected to begin momentarily. The jury was on a 10-minute break. 4 minutes ago, another update from CNN. She testified about her book and lawsuit against Diddy. Cassie is now testifying about the book she wrote in 2023, saying that she didn't think Diddy understood the pain she was in. I didn't think he understood. This is a quote. I don't think after all those years of begging for sorries and for him to actually recognize the pain that he put me through, I just wanted him to understand. She just wanted validation from him. And it's the gaslighting. It's the, I didn't do anything to you. What car? Whose car? I don't know about a car. Are you crazy? I don't know a car. I didn't do none of that. Give me my money. Give me my money. You know, like just mean, just freaking hateful. She said, I couldn't take the call it. She testified. I don't think he understood. Like he just didn't get it. He just is hateful and mean and just didn't think nothing was wrong with that. She said she was having, she said, I don't think after all those years of begging for sorries and for him to actually recognize the pain he put me through, I just wanted him to understand. She said she sent the book to Diddy through a lawyer and told him that he could buy the rights for $30 million. She said, I wanted to be compensated for the time, the pain, the many, many years of my life. Many years of having to fix my life. When she asked how she reached that number, she said, I really didn't do any research. I just picked a number that I felt like would alert him. She later reached out to Diddy's employee, Christina Karam, to ask if he had read the book. And she was told that, quote, it hadn't been taken seriously. She said she did not receive any compensation from Diddy for the rights to her writing. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Alert. That book's coming out. That book is coming out. And there ain't nothing Diddy's going to be able to do about it. I mean, he's going to try to fight it from coming out. Because he's going to say that settlement was for the book not to come out. But he missed the boat on that offer. Ooh, it's not a good day to be Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs. I think he might be having a worse day than anybody today. Next, Cassie and her baby. Next, Cassie's husband, probably. Diddy's kids, and then after that, I mean, a girl. Oh my God. In November 2023, she did file the lawsuit. She testified that she agreed to settle with Diddy and his companies for $20 million 24 hours after filing the lawsuit. That moved fast, didn't it? 7 new posts from the what is this? New York Post. Did we read all these? Toward the end of her direct testimony, Cassie told the court she likely participated in hundreds of FOs with Diddy. And asked how many approximately by prosecutors, Cassie said, it's impossible to know, but hundreds. The prosecutor then asked if she had taken part in a freak-off since breaking up with Diddy in 2018. Following about 10 years of dating, she said no. She faces a cross-examination after a short break. Next up, Cassie will be cross-examined by Diddy's attorneys after a short break. Prosecutor wrapped up her questioning shortly after 4, and the defense will start theirs at 4:25. Cassie, who is 8 months pregnant, has given testimony about her abusive decade-long relationship with Diddy all day today in shocking detail that has at times been hard to listen to. And for about half the day yesterday, settlement amount in Cassie lawsuit revealed at trial, it was $20 million. This is Kyle Schnitzer, Ben Kochman, and Priscilla DeGregory at the New York Post. She revealed the previously unknown figure that she settled with Diddy for in her bombshell 2023 lawsuit that spurred criminal charges against the fallen mogul. I don't know why I said movie mogul. It's music. Kyle, Ben, and Priscilla. During the testimony this afternoon in Manhattan federal court, Cassie and R&B singer and star witness against Diddy told jurors that she ultimately settled with him for $20 million. Who paid you $20 million? The prosecutor asked just before finishing up her direct examination. Diddy and his companies, Cassie said. You mean the ones that are headquartered at Lou Taylor's office or a different one? Just wondering. Her civil case laid out similar claims to those she has testified to. Y'all got to get a proofreader on. There's 3 of y'all testified to over the past 2 days at his criminal trial. She brought the lawsuit in November 2023 and settled with the rapper within a day. Her disturbing allegations ultimately prompted the feds to launch a probe into Diddy. Wow. Bet you he's wishing he would have settled that now. Got a little too big for his britches. Diddy has pleaded not guilty, and his lawyers have said his alleged victims actually took part in these so-called freak-offs consensually. We got a new update from NBC. Cassie's direct testimony ends. She wrapped up direct testimony telling jurors she took the witness stand to rid herself of the shame and the guilt she has carried. When the prosecutor asked her why she put herself through the process, she said, quote, "I can't carry this anymore. The shame, the guilt, what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. People aren't disposable." The jury went on a short break before the cross-examination was expected to begin. Let's go over to Inner City Press. The jury is coming back in. "Sorry to bring you out only to send you home. Don't read anything about the case. Have a great evening. All rise." Jury exits. Judge looks over to the prosecution. "Miss Comey?" She said, here's what Diddy's team sent us about Rule 412. "We believe we had agreed that other sexual acts by the witnesses were not admissible, but we understand they intend to cross-examine her about other relationships with texts about sex, about Miss Ventura effing someone else. Why is that necessary? I don't want to read these into the record, so I'll hand copies up." Agnifilo gets a chance to respond, and he says, "These are messages about jealousy. And the vocabulary of 'are you effing that person?' That's fair game." Oh, the Scientologist can't help himself, I guess. I don't know if he's a Scientologist. It's just that's what they like, the fair game over there. This is the real world way people express hurt. See, they're already coming out with their little horns out. So they're arguing over some text messages. The jury has been dismissed, excused for the day. Court has not been adjourned. They're still arguing in here. They've been arguing all day. Cassie's second day on the stand wraps up. In general, she kept her composure today, answering questions in a calm and matter-of-fact tone, but she became more visibly emotional as she described Combs allegedly R-wording her in 2018, and she broke down in tears shortly after as she recounted her trauma, suet, bleep, ideation, and quote, personal shame. 7 updates from the New York Times. Let's see what they have to say over there. They are really moving. Okay, we got Julia Jacobs from the New York Times saying Cassie is finished with her direct testimony, taking a 10-minute break. She's standing up and holding her stomach as the jurors file out. The prosecution pushed, this is also still from Julia Jacobs from the New York Times, the prosecution pushed to begin the cross-examination today, alluding to the timing concerns with Cassie's pregnancy. But the judge said he wants to start questioning with Diddy's lawyers tomorrow.
Takeaways in court right now, awaiting more updates from officials. Okay. We are also learning a new information that Cassie Ventura was shown an image of Mia, an alleged victim who will be testifying under this name, and asked whether she is familiar with her. Ventura said she was. She next identified an image of Jules, a male escort she previously referenced in testimony. These images were from a freak-off, Ventura confirmed. Ventura identified another image of herself and Jules at a different freak-off. These are still images from videos that were taken from Ventura's personal devices. Also working to get you some other updates from court reporters that currently inside the courtroom. All right. the personal device. Johnson saying, "We will call her Mia. When you gave your devices to the government, were they working?" "No, they were broken," Ventura said. Assistant U.S. Attorney says, "Put up 602A for Miss Ventura and the jury only. What's on your skin?" And Ventura said, "Oil." Another question by the prosecutor, "When did Sean first hurt you physically?" Ventura said, "It started in the first year." Prosecution asked, "Which of staffers were present when Sean was physical with you?" And the defense objected, saying physical is vague. And the assistant U.S. attorney saying punching, hitting, trying to clarify that. So we'll be keeping an eye on some of those takeaways right now as well, as we wait for more updates, as she is now being shown pictures from these videos that have been taken by her device. Again, we are continuing to update you in real time of day 3 of the Diddy trial. It's great to be with you. I am your host, Mike Page, as it's just been a wild day already, again, with these accusations continuing. And really all the defense can do is continue to take their notes and try to get ready to poke some holes into Cassie's testimony and really try to ask her questions about the freak-offs and the style of the freak-offs, as well as Diddy's participation and level with those freak-offs that would be at hotels in Vegas, Miami, and in Los Angeles. So we are continuing to showcase you worldwide on Live Now from Fox. A live look right outside of the courthouse now, as we roll on, bringing you some major takeaways right now from the Diddy trial. Day 3 continues. Let's see if I could get some more updates here for you. Still no updates from the latest reporters that we are getting from inside of that courtroom. All right, let's again talk about how one of the major takeaways from Cassie saying that freak-offs became a job for her. During her testimony, Cassie said eventually she was doing freak-offs weekly. They went on for a decade, with the final one in 2017 or 2018. She said each time, she said she had to recuperate from lack of sleep, alcohol, drugs, and having sex with a stranger for days. She described the situation as freak-offs became a job where there was no space to do anything else but to recover and just try to feel normal again. During her opening statement, prosecutor Emily Johnson told the jury that Cassie was not the only woman Combs beat and sexually exploited. Combs was among the most influential hip-hop producers and executives of the past 3 decades, working with artists including Notorious B.I.G., Mary J. Blige, and Usher. He also created the fashion clothing line, Sean John. Of course, we all know that one as well. All right, waiting for more updates from inside of the court. We got another one here. One of the latest takeaways right here on Live Now from Fox, bringing you these updates in real time as we're getting them, everybody, as jurors did not have any notable facial expressions as they looked at the series of freak-off photos that were displayed to them as the prosecution continues to enter in more of these evidence markers. Let me get you this latest update, as prosecutors were showed 5 still images in total, taken from videos recovered from electronic devices that Cassie provided to investigators. One juror's eyes widened at the first image of Cassie and a male sex worker she identified as Jules appeared on a screen in front of him. Another juror shook his head from side to side as the image was shown. As the presentation continued, another male juror pressed his hand and pen against his face as he studied the images intently. One woman on the panel pursed her lips. Many took notes as Cassie described what was happening in those images. She said they showed her with male sex workers at various stages of the sexual encounters. Again, waiting for more updates from the court reporters, but they're doing a good job of giving us this stuff in a timely manner right now that we're able to report to you in real time on Live Now from Fox, everybody. But again, we continue to wait for more updates. I'm your host, Mike Page. Great to be with you. We are live bringing you these top stories from inside of the court. I know so many of you have been saying, if this was on camera, this would have been bigger than the Johnny Depp trial. This would have been even bigger, some say, than the O.J. Simpson trial back in the early 90s here. So, yeah, I would have to agree with you. This would be just because of the celebrity nature. You have the sexual accusations as well. So many eyes would be on this and continuing to want to get updates. But of course, that is not the case. We are getting our updates from those court reporters inside of the courtroom right now as Diddy continues to stand by with his attorneys. And the attorneys continue to take notes here on this direct testimony from Cassie Ventura, who, again, is now detailing to the jury some of the sexual situations that she found herself in while she was part of these freak-offs. So that is some of the latest takeaways that we have seen for you here on Live Now from Fox, continuing to showcase still more updates when they do become available right here to you. We're also seeing that the sexually explicit images being shown in court now are out of view for the public inside the courtroom. Jurors have seen explicit freak-off video images in court. One female juror sighed, hand on her chest. A male juror quickly looked away. Another took notes while looking at the freak-off images. Worldwide for you here on Live Now from Fox, again, bringing you some of the biggest takeaways from the Diddy trial. Day 3, Cassie Ventura still on the stand here. There was a noticeable longer lunch break today. That's because the court was discussing some procedural and evidentiary issues the entire time. And these issues included the kind of contact that alleged victims can have with their personal lawyers while testifying, and the timelines of the defense showing exhibits that they'd like to use to the government. To give the parties time to get lunch and for the government to get its binders ready, we're now again, we're in that delay, and that's some of the reason. I know many of you were wondering, okay, why are we still just showcasing some stuff that happened in the morning session? We are also learning that jurors have returned from the break as well. And again, the prosecutor says videos of Cassie involved in sex times the pair was alone during the attacks, she said. Sometimes she knew an escort had overheard the assault because they would ask her afterward if she was okay. One time, she said, the escort known as Jules witnessed Combs attacking her directly. These assaults would happen too frequently, Ventura said, and she says it would happen a lot, unfortunately. Some other details that we are learning. Cassie Ventura testified about an incident at her Los Angeles home in August of 2013 when Sean Combs allegedly became livid that she had been sleeping on the couch. She said her friends tried to block Combs from beating her, but he hurled her against a bed frame, she said, leaving her with a wound on her eyebrow where she still has a scar. Ventura took a photo of the injury, she said, because I didn't want him to forget what he did because it's awful, and at the very least, I just wanted him to be sorry about it. Ventura had been packing to travel to a music festival when Combs exploded, she said. She went to the event with her hair styled over the gash on her eyebrow. Prosecutors also asked Cassie Ventura if she ever left a freak off before it was finished. She said she had sometimes tried to when it was a bad time or when she became scared of Sean Combs' behavior. She said she would typically find a back exit at the hotel and leave through an alley. She testified that the only time she actually left the premises during a freak-off was in March of 2016 at the Intercontinental in Los Angeles, the same incident in which Combs was seen on security footage chasing her down and beating her in the hallway. Every other time, she said, she ended back in the room where the freak-off was happening. Again, we are taking you to some of the biggest updates here as Cassie Ventura back on the stand right now as the trial continues. Day 3 of the Diddy trial. And again, prosecution still with their direct questioning. We have not had, they were broken, Ventura said. Assistant U.S. Attorney says, put up 602A for Miss Ventura and the jury only. What's on your skin? And Ventura said, oil. Another question by the prosecutor, when did Sean first hurt you physically? Ventura said it started in the first year. Prosecution asked, which of staffers were present when Sean was physical with you? And the defense objected, saying physical is vague. And the assistant U.S. attorney saying punching, hitting, trying to clarify that. So we'll be keeping an eye on some of those takeaways right now as well. As we wait for more updates, as she is now being shown pictures from these videos that have been taken by her device. Again, we are continuing to update you in real time of day 3 of the Diddy trial. It's great to be with you. I am your host, Mike Page, as wow, it's just been a wild day already, again, with these accusations continuing, and really all the defense can do is continue to take their notes and try to get ready to poke some holes into Cassie's testimony and really try to ask her questions about the freak-offs and the style of the freak-offs, as well as Diddy's participation and level with those freak-offs that would be at hotels in Vegas, Miami, and in Los Angeles. So we are continuing to showcase you worldwide on Live Now from Fox, a live look right outside of the courthouse now, as we roll on, bringing you some major takeaways right now from the Diddy trial. Day 3 continues. Let's see if I could get some more updates here for you. Still no updates from the latest reporters that we are getting from inside of that courtroom. All right, let's again talk about how one of the major takeaways from Cassie saying that freak-offs became a job for her. During her testimony, Cassie said eventually she was doing freak-offs weekly. They went on for a decade, with the final one in 2017 or 2018. She said each time, she said she had to recuperate from lack of sleep, alcohol, drugs, and having sex with a stranger for days. She described the situation as freak-offs became a job where there was no space to do anything else but to recover and just try to feel normal again. During her opening statement, prosecutor Emily Johnson told the jury that Cassie was not the only woman Combs beat and sexually exploited. Combs was among the most influential hip-hop producers and executives of the past 3 decades, working with artists including Notorious B.I.G., Mary J. Blige, and Usher. He also created the fashion clothing line, Sean John. Of course, we all know that one as well. All right, waiting for more updates from inside of the court. We got another one here. Jurors did not have any notable facial expressions as they looked at the series of freak-off photos shown during Cassie Ventura's testimony. Some looked at their screens briefly as each photo was shown and then switched their gazes to Ventura or the prosecutor. Others occasionally took a second or third look or stared down at their screens situated at lap level. For most of the time they were displayed, jurors at big trials often remain dispassionate even while viewing disturbing court exhibits or hearing unsettling testimony. So that is one of the latest takeaways right here on Live Now from Fox, bringing you these updates in real time as we're getting them, everybody, as jurors did not have any notable facial expressions as they looked at the series of freak-off photos that were displayed to them as the prosecution continues to enter in more of these evidence markers. Let me get you this latest update as prosecutors were showed 5 still images in total taken from videos recovered from electronic devices that Cassie provided to investigators. One juror's eyes widened at the first image of Cassie and a male sex worker she identified as Jules appeared on a screen in front of him. Another juror shook his head from side to side as the image was shown. As the presentation continued, another male juror pressed his hand and pen against his face as he studied the images intently. One woman on the panel pursed her lips. Many took notes as Cassie described what was happening in those images. She said they showed her with male sex workers at various stages of the sexual encounters. Again, waiting for more updates from the court reporters, but they're doing a good job of giving us this stuff in a timely manner right now that we're able to report to you in real time on Live Now from Fox, everybody. But again, we continue to wait for more updates.
Again, at that time, I made a look that it's a bad look that that his kids are just sitting there. His family, his mom, nobody cares. They look unbothered from hearing this. She said when the door opened, she ran when she got to the house. This was the house she shared with Diddy in New York. Roger Bonds came after her. She ran and looked in the mirror. She was knotted up, bruised, bloody, black eyes, right? She freaked out. She said she didn't even look like herself. She looked like an alien. Diddy, again, he didn't give a F about Cassie. And I think that's where Cassie's shame comes from. Diddy then turned around and told Cassie, didn't even say it to her, said it to the people, yo, go sneak her out the back of the house, right? Cassie was like, no, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to go anywhere. I have to stay. I want to stay. Diddy literally told them to take her out the house and go sneak her out the back of the house because it would be a bad look if his son saw her face like that. So he told her to leave the house and put her in a hotel for 7 to 10 days. Again, he didn't, and get this, the whole time she was at the hotel, he didn't even call on her. He didn't even check on her. Listen to this, right? He told her to sneak out back with Roger Bonds and go to a hotel until her face healed. But he told Roger Bonds to take her to the hotel, right? Boxing for Life said prayers up for Cassie during the cross-examination. The defense is coming for her. Y'all know I'm going to be on it all day. Guess this. So they snuck her into a hotel, the London Hotel in Los Angeles. Her face was covered up. James Johnson, hit the like button, y'all. Her face was covered up, right? Her face was covered up. They into the lobby, just covered up. She stayed there for about 7 to 10 days. Get this. She tried to go home because she said, I want to be here. I want to go home. They told her no, she couldn't leave. She kept telling everybody, I want to see my mom. I want to go home. I want to go home. They wouldn't do anything. The most they did was bring her ice cream. Diddy didn't call her once, didn't come visit to her. Nobody would let her leave the hotel until Diddy said it was okay. Okay? She tried to go home to her mom. Her stylist, Derek Birch, would check in, right? Her stylist, C. Coelho R. said, who's Diddy's PR team having breakfast with? Yeah, they were having breakfast with TMZ producers, Shade Room producers, and also Breakfast Club producers. It looked like in the cafeteria on Monday. Kevin Madison, thank you so much for the super chat. Who else? Yasmin Jacobs, thank you so much. Okay, so let's get back into this story because I'm going to bring my stand up tomorrow because, oof, ichi, guy, yeah. Anyway, right? I'm like getting, is it starting to rain again? Hold on, y'all. It's starting to rain. I got to get my umbrella out. And then we're going to get back into the facts of this case. Hold on, y'all. So, okay. So, let's see. She got freaked out, covered up. Her stylist came to check on her, right? He would check in. She needed permission to leave. She was begging Diddy, can I please go home? Can I please go home? Diddy said absolutely not. Cassie did not have the resources to leave. And by resources, we're not even talking about money. We're talking about people that makes Diddy fear her. She did not have the resources to leave. Sharifa, thank you so much for the super chat. And Yasmin Jacobs, if I didn't say thank you already. Also, Nisi M said Diddy's narcissistic strength heightened from Cassie's weakness. He was literally controlling her. That's exactly what it was. Josum thank you for the hard work to bring us the news. You're welcome. So anyway, right? She also said she didn't have the resources to lead, but she also understood by his guns and threats that she couldn't defy him. She wanted to even stay at the house, but said she wasn't allowed to stay at his house. He told her to cover her face and get out of here. Her mom actually called her, because her mom had seen like a blind item describing exactly what happened, because apparently people taped Diddy beating her down and blacking her face out, right? Her mom called her, this was back in 2012, and was like, yo, there is a blind item and they're saying it's you. Cassie lied to her mom. And her mom said, what happened? She saw the blind item. Cassie lied to her mom and was like, oh, nothing, I'm fine. Everything's good. But the whole thing is, one of the reasons she was saying everything's good is because Diddy wouldn't let her leave. It's not over, y'all. It's not over. Her mom asked her about the blind item, wanted to know if it was Cassie. Cassie literally told her mom, no, mom, it's not me. She lied because she was ashamed. She didn't want to put her mom in danger. Diddy, 10 days later, allowed her to leave to go to meet him at the music studio. It was 17 days after her healing. She was still bruised and her eyes still had blood in them. They weren't clear. Diddy commanded she go with them to Chalice recording studios. Remember Chalice recording studios? That's a recording studio from Little Rod's lawsuit. Y'all remember that? Yeah, it's all linking up. Then on top of that, hold on, y'all. On top of that, let me get this out. Risa Chatley, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, Miss Al said, hey, Tisa, you're amazing out there in New York City streets doing what you do. Keep spilling all the tea out. I just got burned. My teacup overflowed. Love you, girl. You're amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Y'all, thank you for helping me fund this trip. This is my love letter to y'all. I'm actually putting my money where my mouth is. Okay, so also, so Diddy had her go to Child's recruiting studio, right? So then the government showed a picture of a makeup artist named Mila, right? They said Mila invited her to a party at Prince's house. Yeah, that Prince. I said, oh, okay. Mila invited Cassie, and Mila looks like all the girls that Prince, Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince, that he used to marry, right? So Mila said, yo, Cassie, do you want to go to Diddy's, Prince's house? She said she didn't discuss it with Diddy, right? Because, sorry guys, I'm trying to move this mess around. She didn't discuss it with Diddy because she knew, oh my God, I'm falling apart. Hold on. She said she didn't discuss it with Diddy because she knew that Diddy was going to say no. So she didn't discuss it with Diddy, all right? Sorry guys, I'm falling apart out here. Let me just put this together. So she didn't discuss it with Diddy. However, she said that she left. She said that Diddy didn't even tell her about the party. And she was at the party with her friends enjoying herself. And then Diddy popped up, right? Cassie got so scared. She ran out the party, okay? Cassie got so scared from that Diddy pop-up that she ran out the party, okay? She left. She ran out as fast as she could. She ran and she even fell into some bushes. That's how scared she was. They said Diddy then popped up at Cassie's Beverly Hills hotel, right? And listen, she literally beat her to a pulp in her bedroom of the Beverly Hills hotel. beat her to a pulp, right? Her friend Mila, the makeup artist, was actually sleeping when Diddy showed up, but of course she woke up. And she said that Mila packed up her bags and was like, girl, you gotta go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. She stayed with Mila at her house for about 3 to 4 days. Mila is, hold on, y'all. Mila is expected to testify for anybody that is wondering. Mila is expected to testify. Really quick, let me just say what's up to these super chats. We get into this. Risa Chatley, I think I already said thank you, but thank you anyway. Who else? Any new super chats? Oh, C. Hubbard, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, I'm going to give a thank you to, what other super chats do I have? Paula Barnes said, you're a warrior. Thank you. Also, Kim Werderbaugh, thank you so much. Also, Miss Gail Verno said, would Cassie have went along with all this if Diddy was a mailman? She was okay with this as long as the diamonds kept flowing for 10 years. As an actual victim, she makes my blood boil. Let me tell you something, Miss Gail. The fact that for whatever reason, if you were in that courtroom, you would know it didn't matter. And honestly, if Cassie had, because let me tell y'all something, I'm sick of people, not you, but I'm sick of people saying, oh, if he was a mailman, if he was broke, would you have did this? Do you know how many broke men are abusers? Do you know how many people are dating the fried cook at McDonald's? No shade of you, the fried cook at the McDonald's. Dating the fried cook at McDonald's and getting their butts whooped every day and 16 outside babies. We have to stop this thing that abuse only happens with people. We have to stop this thing that abuse only happens with rich men. Because, baby, the evidence shows, based off of the United States of America CDC data, that it happens with the poorest of poor. It happens in poverty. So would she? Yes. Because somebody that is a predator, whether they are a mailman or whether they are the richest man in the world, right? Whether they are the richest man, they will still find a way to get into your mind and abuse. Abuse happens in poverty more than anything. With outside babies, people getting things, murder, suicide. Like, are y'all serious? Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop. And this isn't to you, mama. I respect what you went through. I'm just saying that you can literally be with a poor man or woman and be abused. Money don't mean anything. It's about somebody getting into your head. Anyway, SWN said, Tisa, make sure you get plenty of rest. I will. Kiwi Madison, thank you so much for the super chat. Nadine Latouche, thank you so Touche, thank you so much for the super chat. But I feel what you're saying. Teresa Trice, thank you so much for the super chat and for your first live stream. And Precious One, thank you for the super chat. Let me get back to this. I think I'm done. Preach, girl. Thank you, James Johnson. And also, Gentral Daniel said, you would definitely have been Prince's type. Keep doing an amazing, beautiful one. Now, I love my man, but a Prince had called me. I'm just saying. Bobby Koffel, thank you so much for the super chat. Snow White, thank you so much for the super chat. Miss Gail Verino said, I agree, love. Diddy is disgusting and needs a death penalty. But do you think she had many opportunities to go to the police, FBI? Carlo Marcel, thank you so much for the super chat. Let me answer that question real quick. If you listen to the testimony, and I was there, and I understand, because, you know, we all think alike. She always wanted to protect him. He had gotten into her mind so much that she thought the way she could prove her value to him and finally get him to see her as a person is to protect him even when he broke her face apart and hurt her. Okay, so anyway, right? She said she stayed, let me get back in the story. She said she stayed with Mila for 3 to 4 days. So there's another thing. Then they introduced Scott Miskey. Who's Scott Miskey? It is Kid Cudi, right? She said Capricorn Clark saw emails that she had sent Kid Cudi. Diddy went through Cassie's phone and saw emails about Cassie leaving her grocery bag at Kid Cudi's house. Now, it is important to note that Ayana, thank you so much for the super chat. All right, something gotta give. My shit's falling. It is important to note, right, that oh, thank you. Oh my God, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Okay, my bag fell over, but I had a knight in shining armor come and help me pick my bag up because it was beyond the gate. Y'all saw me falling apart. Okay, so Cassie, so then they talk about Kid Cudi. Now here's the thing. When Cassie was talking to Kid Cudi, Her and Diddy were not together. Diddy was always beating her up, leaving her, doing whatever, then come back. He didn't, I don't care how many trinkets Cassie had. I don't think how glamorous her life looked like. She was treated as a true bottom B. She was treated as somebody less than, right? Bolly Bellinger, you said great work, girlfriend. Thank you. She was treated horribly, right? So let's get into the Kid Cudi era, right? So Diddy went through her phone, even though they weren't together, and you know, Cassie wasn't allowed to say anything to him. He went through the phone and saw the Kid Cudi emails. Kid Cudi emailed Cassie about leaving her grocery bag at his house, right? MLB co-CCS said, stop blaming the victim. It's sad that women like Cassie are not given grace and empathy because the man she was with was wealthy. Ever heard of Stockholm Syndrome? Google it, Pisa. Yes. Also, you said, thanks, TT. Okay, and also, B, thank you so much for the super chat. So let's get into the Kid Cudi stuff, because this is crazy, right? Cassie was so scared of what Diddy was going to do to her that she literally had a burner phone and a burner number to communicate with Kid Cudi, okay? Because Diddy would still show up at Cassie's house whenever he went and walked through it, right? The Capricorn Clark, they said, also knew about what was going on with Kid Cudi, and she worked for Diddy. Oh my God. They said Cassie went to Diddy's home to explain because Diddy commanded she come and explain herself. That's how much power this man had. That's just how much like Diddy was on some bullshit, right? Then, listen, when she went to the home to explain, Diddy was like, yo, I got 2 freak off videos, right? He said, I got 2, no, he said, I got all the freak up videos and I'm going to blackmail, right? He then told her he was going to murk her and Kid Cudi, and he was going to release those freak off videos on the net for the world to see, right? Cassie was like, listen, do what you got to do, because she was sick of living in fear. And on the way out, he kicked her in the back so bad, he knocked her over, and he left her whole back and her butt black and blue. He loved kicking her in her back and butt. Get this, they showed pictures of it in the trial. It was horrible. She left. She had large bruises all over the place, right? Oh, also, Red Bunny said she was locked in her music contract, love bombed her, and got her addicted to rugs so she would be dependent on him and can't leave. Pimping one-on-one as a Rico. Let's also not forget, that's right, but let's also not forget Red Bunny. Another thing he did was, once he got her involved in the freak-offs and she had all that shame, right? She had all that shame, he kept threatening to blackmail her with the freak-offs. Anyway, right? God damn it. I got to get my stand tomorrow. Let me see if I can just like touch. So he kicked her in the back, right? He kicked her in the back of the trial on the way out. There were large bruises in other places. Cassie ran to a hotel room, right? Because she was staying in a hotel room because he had put her out of the house. So Cassie ran to the hotel room. But get this, when she got to the hotel room was 100% completely it was 100% completely trashed. She said the whole hotel room was completely torn up. Everything was completely trashed. And also get this, somebody had urinated in her hotel room. We assume this is Sean Diddy Combs, had urinated in the hotel room, and they had gone to the bathroom, a number 2 in the toilet, and left it in the toilet. And so she came back after she said, do what you got to do. And he kicked her so bad, her whole back was black and blue. They showed pictures, right? She went back to her hotel room where she was staying, and the whole hotel room was ripped apart, furniture destroyed, completely trashed. It looked like a bomb had shut off. And there was they had urinated over all her clothes and stuff. And in the bathroom, somebody had taken a dump and not flushed the toilet. What type of stuff is that? Listen, somebody said, sorry, Tisa, but you need Farnsworth to hold your umbrella up for you. Listen, I'm going to bring a stand tomorrow. Jai Jordan said, hey, Tisa, you're absolute bomb. Not only are you beautiful inside and out, keep doing the damn thing. Thank you so much. Okay, so that's what Cassie went back to her hotel room. And Diddy told her that night he was going to release all her freak-off tapes, and he was going to murk her and Kid Cudi. Oh, Tyrone Blackburn. What's up, Esquire Blackburn said, good coverage, Tisa. Can't wait to do an interview with you when this is all over. You know I have a ton to say. Yo, I've been thank you, Mr. Blackburn, Esquire. That is Little Rod's attorney, Tyrone Blackburn. Shout out to Blackburn. I've been networking with all the lawyers, and there are going to be interviews on this channel when it all comes and says. So listen to what else happened. because there is so much crazy stuff that happened. I might have to go and sit down. Hold on really quick, you guys. Don't hang up. Hold on really quick. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, guys, sorry about that. I'm back. All right, so here we go, right? Listen, so anyway, oh look, there's Homeland Security again. Hey, what's up? So here's Homeland Security. Yay. Hi, how you doing? Hey, what's up? How are you? So, okay, so what else happened? Okay, so that happened. She comes home, she sees her hotel. So Cassie in the middle of the night. All right, you know what? F it. I'm gonna have to reenact Ashanti's Rain on Me. Literally, this holding the umbrella is not working, so we just gonna have to literally reenact Rihanna's Umbrella. When the sunshine will shine together, told you I'd be here forever. Took a I'm gonna stick it out to the end. Okay, fine. We're just gonna have to. Oh, thank you. Thank you. We are going to have to reenact a scene from Umbrella or Ashanti Rain on Me because I can't hold that umbrella one more second. It is really getting to me. Okay, so let's get back into the Kid Cudi story. So when we last left our beleaguered heroine, Cassie, her whole room was trashed, torn up like a monster had been there. She had a suite. All her clothes were urinated on and somebody took a dump in the toilet. And Diddy said he was going to murk her and Cudi as soon as he got and he was going to release her freak off tapes, right? Brooklyn Squad Real Life Advocate said, I've been a sub of yours for a while. Thank you for your hard work. This isn't easy. Listening to victim story is heartbreaking. You're doing great. Thank you so much. Lourdes Montana said, hey, Tisa, love you, girl. Great reporting. Stay safe as always. Thank you, you guys. I really appreciate it. Oh, also, one more super chat. Capcoon 19, thank you so much for the super chat. And Life is Notorious. You said, yeah, y'all. Life is Notorious. Diddy is done. Ariam said, gonna get you an umbrella hat. That's what I need. I'm gonna show up with an umbrella hat. I don't care. Okay, so anyway, right? Cassie fled to another hotel. She sent an email in 2000, it was either 2011, 12, or 13. He sent an email to her mom and Capricorn Clark, Diddy's assistant at that time, CC'd them both into it. The subject of it was threats. She said that Sean Diddy Combs has threatened to release sexual explicit blackmail stuff on me. And Sean Diddy Combs has also, oh, you know what? Hold on. I see where I can stand. They said Sean Diddy Combs has said he's going to release that material. And Sean Diddy Combs has also said that he is going to end me and Kid Cudi's life. She was on a plane home going to Connecticut, and it was so bad that she literally told everybody that her life had been threatened and that she feared for her life. It was bad, y'all. Sarah Jefferson, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate y'all. Okay, so now I'm gonna stand here until they tell me to leave. If I act like, listen, we're not supposed to be filming here. So if I start acting like you my mom on FaceTime and I'll be like, oh my God, mommy, I love you. Just go along with it, okay? Everybody, just go along with it. If I start acting like I'm talking to my mom on FaceTime. Anyway, right? So anyway, she had told them that Diddy had threatened her life and she was on the plane ride to Christmas and she really honestly thought he was going to murk her, all right? Flechette Robertson said, Tisa, you're amazing and so loved that you're able to report live on this case. Keep it coming. Oh, also, Cassie talked about a 2018 grape. If you guys don't know, earlier today, I went live in the morning. I said, yo, my sources are telling me that Cassie is going to testify and say that Diddy raped her in 2018. And guess what? Sadly enough, all my sources were 100% true. Cassie testified not even an hour ago that Diddy raped her on her living room floor in 2018. It was a lot. James Johnson said, I'm dead. Yes. Also, Cheyenne said, thank you for speaking up for survivors, Tisa, sending support from New Mexico. Girl, thank you so much. And the Hood Rilla said, your family what the word Merc means. My fan base don't know what Merc means. It means, right? So anyway, right? They said that on Christmas Day, and another day later, he then reached out to her again, said he was going to hurt her and Kit Cudi, and he told her that he'd be out of the country when it happened. Cassie's mom, she finally told her mom that she had been hit, but she lied to her mom and said it was the first time, and she didn't tell her mom about the freak-offs because she was ashamed. But her mom took photos of her bruised up back, and her whole lower body was black and blue. Yeah, listen, Diddy looked stressed about then. He looked stressed about then. Also, April, thank you so much for the super chat, April. And Leo Girl said, Tisa, thanks for keeping us updated. April Chrisman, thank you so much for the super chat. And also, Rhonda Leaf said, thank you, Tisa, stay safe, and we need some impersonations. Thank you, Rhonda. And oh, peace be still. Welcome to the Tattletale family. Also, Tyrone Blackburn, thank you, Esquire. You got money. Said, Diddy done. I got kicked out of the court at the end because I could not keep quiet. The prosecutors literally did a damn mic drop on Diddy's ASS. Sex trafficking, prostitution, arson, RICO. Next, let me tell y'all something else before I go, because I'm going to give y'all I have a bunch of notes. I'm going to go live later and talk. I'm not leaving yet, but I'm going to go live and talk about it in detail. But let me give y'all the highlight reel, okay? So y'all can say y'all heard it first. Mafia Man said, T said 16 plus Don Lemon, 3.9, both on live. Enough said. Get it, girl. Thank you so much. Nancy 90 said, that was a video of her under the blanket. He took it after the tape for shame. Daryl Richardson said, double tap the screen. Show Tisa love, please. Thank you. Marie Bear said, poor Cassie, I'll be praying for her and her baby tomorrow. Exactly. Luisa Armalejo, thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, so listen, a highlight reel. How'd he drop? So they showed stills from the freak-off tapes, okay? They showed stills from the freak-off tapes, but the prosecution was very good. Rhonda Lee, thank you for the super chat, because the prosecution did something really, really smart and really, really inventive. The prosecution showed pictures where Cassie was standing there. She didn't look glamorous. She didn't look like one of the richest men, a billionaire's girlfriend. She looked like a hooker in a $5 brothel. Literally baby oil, standing there, looking defeated, used up, with a bunch of lube, tops from lube scattered everywhere. There's another one when there's a comforter on the floor, and it just looks really dusty and musty and funky in there. Again, the stills they showed, whatever you think was going on in the freak-offs, it wasn't. Cassie was a Smex traffic, and Diddy ain't give a damn about her. He ain't even like her. He didn't even see her as human. I don't care. After this testimony, you can't believe this. Diddy, and I see now why the prosecution is like, you lured somebody in with Smex trafficking by making them believe they were your girlfriend. The same way pimps on the corner get prostitutes to believe that that's their husband, that's their girlfriend, and it's not. It was all a sham. It was all a lie. Anyway, they said, the Samantha Flores says, thanks for doing this. God bless you. Thank you for keeping us all updated. Anytime, Samantha. Oh, okay, so listen. So let's get to the great really quick. So I'm going to get through the highlight trends, right? At this point, Diddy looked stressed after that. Literally, again, remember when I said that yesterday it looked like Diddy was almost antagonizing Cassie, enjoying, like it seemed like demon, like Cassie was crying and Diddy looked like he was gonna lick her tears off her face like it was warm caramel. Well, today it was the opposite, right? Listen, they said at another time Diddy was in Jamaica, they was minding their business. He tapped her on the shoulder, said, come here, and punched her dead in her face and started beating her for no reason. When I say these beatings were not spun from an argument, it wasn't spun from this. When I say these beatings came out of nowhere, whenever, the same way they used to see in 1940s films when people would come home, they would beat the dog and kick the dog, and that was animal abuse. That's the same thing Diddy would do with Cassie. It didn't matter what she was doing. It didn't matter. Half the time Cassie was minding her own business, and he would just start. Oh, sorry. Oh, I didn't know that. Sorry. All right. Okay, I'm leaving now. Okay, so. Okay, so, all right. Adiagio, thank you so much for the super chat. What happened, y'all? You were supposed to say, Tisa, make sure you milk and cookies home. Y'all was supposed to act like y'all was my mom. Instead, literally, the police are giving me a look like, you know you're not supposed to do this, you know? I don't know how many more times I can be like, Oh my, I'm sorry. I didn't know. Anyway, Booking Squad for Real Life said, I volunteer helping victims' families. I really would like to get with you. These families have no one else helping. Listen, please send me an email. I'm always happy to use my platform, highlight, do whatever I can to make a difference in people's lives. Oh, what's up, TCC Sunset? Thank you, Tisa, Sussex Squad. This weekend, how you doing? I'm going to get on the... I'm on live stream right now. I'm still on live. I can't. I'm in the middle of a story. They always say I got ADHD. I get distracted. But next time, I got you. Yeah, of course I am. I got you. So T Brown said, thank you. Keep up the good work. Stay safe. Also, Super Christian One said, best free pack I found. Gonna follow you, Miss T said. Thank you. I want to have a talk to y'all. Y'all was supposed to act like you were my mom and ask me to bring milk and eggs home. Instead, y'all just sitting there silent while I'm about to get arrested by Homeland Security. I mean, but again, I'm Black American, so let me not make any ICE jokes because they grabbing everybody these days. They might be like, no, mama, you look like you Afro-Latino, get on the bus. And I'm like, no, I got 4 Black grandparents. Anyway, right? Okay, so what happened was she said that Diddy and her, she was dating Alex. And Diddy knew she was dating Alex. So they went to a restaurant, I think I want to say Malibu, but they went to a restaurant somewhere in whatever because they were supposed to discuss ending things, okay? And she went, also Patricia, thank you so much for the super chat. They were supposed to discuss ending things and they were already over, but they were supposed to discuss like the last of the relationship. Sunrise Speaks says, I want Cassie to name this baby Justice because that's exactly what she's going to get. She is. Diddy's cooked, and Cassie's just the first witness. This is going until July 4th. They are going to treat them like the vampires and sinners and set that mug on fire and then let the sun come up and watch them squirm in the ocean. Y'all guys, Sinners is coming out again May 15th in the movie theaters. Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan did a big one on that one. Y'all, we should go support it. I know I'm going to go see it back in IMAX again on May 15th. It's coming back in the movie theaters. So anyway, they go out and they're having a good time, and not a good time, but it was like a goodbye, right? It wasn't like a like, oh, let's get back together. It was a goodbye to finalize things. You know, they still had like business stuff and whatnot, or at least Diddy said it was business stuff, right? In any case, Krista Feaster, thank you so much. They go, they have dinner. It seems nice. He's being nice. He's being charming. She's like, oh my God, he's not a monster anymore. And then he literally goes and drops her off at her home. And she's like, okay, good night. But then I don't know if he didn't leave or if he just decided to let himself in. He came in, right? The ethical audit said, what is known if the kids were ever around both him and Cassie at the same time or no? I don't know. I think in 11 years she had to be. But that's another thing. If they weren't, that just shows that all these people talking about, oh, you did it. That Diddy was not taking Cassie seriously. He saw her as a punching bag, and he kept his punching bag there, and he was jealous because she brought the men that he wanted. Listen, Christina Super Christian One said, shocked that this stress didn't send Cassie into labor. Exactly. Cassie is so strong. FNOMLN Lifestyle. Thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, so then Diddy lets himself into it, right? And all of a sudden, Diddy forces himself on her. And Cassie said she was screaming, yelling, no, 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 no. She said, luckily it didn't last that long. I called that shade, Cassie. But she said, lucky it didn't last this long. It was so horrible, but she was screaming, no, 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 stop. And the more she did, the more Diddy got aggressive. And he literally also blinked in her, right? Dina Champion, thank you so much for the super chat. Dina Champion, thank you so much. He said Diddy blinked in her. On top of that, and Diddy had no remorse. He just left. Cassie with his Alex, he blinked inside of her, okay? Now, mind you, the whole time he had Cassie hoping that one day she would be worthy enough of being a wife and mom. This made me look like Kalina's interview that she did on, I forget what it's called, the black and white interview she did, where she was saying Cassie wasn't worthy of being a wife. She wasn't worthy about being this. This makes me think that this was all, you guys, all these people that are pro Diddy are still helping Diddy psychologically abuse Cassie, because that's what he held over her head the whole time. You're not worthy about being a wife, but if you act right, if you protect me, if you do this, it will, right? MJ said, awesome, so sweet, love how passionate you are. Thank you so much. Also, really quick, Carrie said, keep doing your thing, T said, thank you so much. So anyway, right, we doing all this, and so Diddy raped Cassie. And, Cassie is so messed up over this. She's so messed up over this. But get this, she said she met with Diddy outside of that one more time, and they ended up having sex willingly. And they were like, the prosecutor's like, why would you do that? And she was like, I wanted to see the best in him. And the weird thing is the way she explained it, I get the fact she didn't want to be a victim. And in her mind, if she could make it seem like, no, it was consensual or it wasn't that bad, that she would be okay. But eventually that shame spiral led her to thinking about offing herself. Again, she went and she told her husband, are you gonna be okay with the kids? And she tried to run into traffic. She said that every day she wanted to end it. She had so much shame, so much hate, so much loathing. And she was messed up in the mind. Again, you guys, I'm skipping over a lot of stuff because I'm trying to give you all the highlights. Oh, also, Cassie confirmed that she got a $20 million payout. She said that when she first wrote the book, she didn't ask for any money. She wrote the book according to like her rehab. She went into rehab and got clean in 2023. She wrote the book because she wanted to put everything she experienced down. And she sent it to Diddy. She sent it to Diddy and she was like, I want you to read this. And they're like, why'd you send it to him? And he's like, because I wanted him to understand what he did to me and why it's not okay. And she's like, I just wanted to be seen. So she sent him the book, right? Carrie, you said, keep doing your thing, T. said, thank you so much. She said she wanted to be seen. Diddy never got back to her. So she called KK, the assistant, and she was like, yo, did he read the book? And KK told her, no, ain't nobody read that. And she was like, what? And they were like, and she was like, nobody takes that book seriously. We don't even think you really wrote it. Like basically calling her dumb and thinking that they think that she's too stupid to even write a book. And call her dumb, be like, yeah, who wrote that for you? You couldn't write it for yourself. And Cassie was like, it was such an insult. It was such an insult that she got lawyers involved. And she said, I'm on 30 million. And they were like, how'd you come to 30 million? And she was like, honestly, she's like, I wanted to be compensated for all the pain and time and everything. Basically, she realized, like I've always been saying, they don't give a shit about you. Like, people like that don't give a damn about your tears. They don't give a damn about this. You're never going to get a story. They don't care. They don't take you seriously. But she knew by going after his money, he'd take that seriously. And they said, how'd you get to 30 million? And Bronco the Boss, thank you so much for the super chat. And Sean Noble said, it's so crazy how you never know what someone's going through. All those years waiting for a second album, and now it all makes sense. I hope she releases all the music that Diddy blocked the world from hearing. I hope she does too. Justice for Cassie. Shauna C, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. So anyway, hold on. I got to open this. This is getting a lot. Lena said, I love you, Tisa. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Lena. Sorry, the rain's coming down again. You're going to see this mountain somehow. Wait, now I'm smeared. Hold on. Wait. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so, she said, they were like, how'd you pick the 30 million? And she was like, I just pulled a random number out because I wanted to get his attention. She said she pulled out a random number. Get this. Diddy said no. Cassie said, okay. He said no, he wasn't going to pay her for anything, and that was that, right? Patrick said, thank you for your amazing grade 8 coverage. Keep it coming. I'm tuned in with you all the way. Yeah, you guys, when I get back to the house, I'm going to do coverage of everything. It's going to be a long live, but if you want that, and I'm going to do a few short videos, but I'm just giving you all the highlights. So Cassie was like, this is how she got to 20 million. So Cassie was like, after that 30 million, Cassie was like, okay, like, sure, I don't care. Give me 30 million. And they said that Diddy was like, no, you're an idiot. I'm not giving you anything. So then cut to Cassie filed a lawsuit because she wanted Diddy to pay. She wanted him to suffer. She said, I tried to do what's nice, but sometimes there is no reckoning. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that because he made her suffer. Raw Authentic said, you're great at the job. Thank you so much. And Table Talk with Mimi Exclusive said, Tisa, keep clocking tea. And Empress Kaya, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, Ray Marie, you said, sending love, Miss Tisa. Thank you so much, Ray Marie. I appreciate you. So, sending love right back. So anyway, Cassie said, okay, she filed the suits. And then Diddy contacted her 24 hours later and offered $20 million for her to drop the lawsuit. And with that was a mic drop because how the hell are you paying somebody 20 million? 20, and let me tell you something. Look at all of Diddy's other cases. Diddy don't settle with no one. Diddy can't even give Little Rob 50,000. Diddy is fighting everyone. He has not paid anything. Bronco the Boss, thank you so much for gifting a membership. Diddy has not paid anyone anything. That man is cheap. So you cannot tell me that he just gave 20 million just because he felt guilty. Diddy was scared. I will tell you one thing about this trial. I still feel like in this trial, Cassie may have shown Diddy a little grace. Just hear me out. Cassie was alluding to Diddy did a lot of criminal stuff, but she kept the focus on the way he mistreated her and abused her. So even in that final thing, I think for the kids, Cassie did Diddy one final grace. You know what I'm saying? I did. Listen, you guys, let me tell y'all something. Cassie said that she was raped in 2018. She got 20 million. She described in detail everything she went through. Valentine TV, thank you so much for being a member for 17 months. I love your spirit too. She described everything that she was going through, everything that she was into. What else can I tell y'all? Hold on. There's a little bit more tea. It stopped raining. Hold up. Let me pull out my little struggle notebook. Hold on. Let's pull out this struggle notebook. Oh, get this. She said that Cassie ended up breaking up with Kid Cudi. They was like, yo, why'd you break up with Kid Cudi? She said, I believe Diddy in this threat. She said she stayed in Connecticut for a while, right? However, she did go to Arizona with Diddy because Diddy sweet talked her. Again, you cannot tell me that Diddy just didn't get off on torturing Cassie. Again, I think that's where a lot of her shame and ideations come from, that she realized that you loved and gave yourself to someone that really thought you were worthless. And honestly, again, it don't have to be an abusive relationship, but I think every person has been in a relationship with someone when they truly didn't really realize your value, and they didn't value you. And it don't mean you're not valuable, but they just didn't value you. You weren't their person. Now imagine that on the most toxic thing, right? Anyway, she said that she did sneak down to see Diddy in Connecticut. Sunshine Lifestyle said, we're so proud of you, the hardest worker out there. Thank you so much, Sunshine. So get this. They said Cassie, she broke up with Kid Cudi because she was like, yo, it's not worth it. She told family that she was going out to LA to work on the work because she was ashamed, right? However, she met Diddy in Arizona to look at college with one of his kids. Now, I think he was talking about Justin, because ain't Justin the only kid that went to college? Because this is back when 2018. I think Justin was about to go to college, and he was looking at he was looking at colleges over in Arizona, West Coast, right? Listen, get this. He said that Sean told Kid Cudi and his friends that he wanted Kid Cudi's car to be blown up in front of his friends so Kid Cudi's friends could see it. Again, Diddy was a terrorist. It was all about shows of passion and might, right? Mealist 3 times to continue to be fearless, he said. Thank y'all. Also, Nicole Kane, welcome to the Tattletale family. I appreciate you. Okay, so get this. Diddy and Cassie had a meeting with Kid Cudi about their relationship, right? And Cudi at the end of it was like, so what about my car? And Diddy looked at him and said, what about your car? And that was it, right? Diddy and Cassie went to Jamaica after that. But if you look at all the pictures, she had a black eye in the vacation photos, all of them. Why? Because they were just hanging out. Oh my God. They were just hanging out, minding, the rain's coming out. They were just hanging there out, minding the business. She turned around and punched her in the face and beat her. D-Rock and, God, this rain. D-Rock and James Cruz saw it. D-Rock was head of security. I think D-Rock's a co-conspirator. James is head of security. It was so vicious. She had black eyes, busted lip, giant knots. It's literally was so bad they looked at her and started crying. And there's text messages proving that, because on September 14, 2018, D-Rock said, where you at? It's time to ice your face. That's how much she actually got beaten. Y'all, it was a mess. Listen, anyway, y'all, the rain's coming down. I got to get to safer things. I will say this. I'm going to be live in about probably 20, 30 minutes. Darlene Swint, thank you so much for the super chat. All right. And also, I want to say thank you to Table Talk with Mimi exclusive for joining the family. I'm not done yet. James Overstreet, to Tisa, you a real one. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, listen, the rain is starting to come down. I don't know what's going on. Now firefighters are going by. It's too much commotion. I'll see y'all in a minute, all right? Hit that like button. Talk to y'all later. Bye. Room 500 Pearl Street. Listen, oh my God, you guys, so much is happening in the courtroom. I had to sneak out and let you guys.
All right, that's a wrap on day 3, baby.